Welcome, everyone, to this special webinar. My name is Ashley Shank, and we're so glad that you're joining us for this online event, Better Business Banking with Balanced Equation and Rho. We're overjoyed that so many of you are here today. I'll be your host for this webinar, and I'll be supporting Jackie and Nick as we go through this amazing content. We'll explain how you can benefit from banking with Rho, supported by Balanced Equation. So first, a couple little housekeeping items before we get started. And if you're just joining us, welcome today. Many of you are familiar with Zoom, but I want to review some things before we begin. There's a chat box you can open at any time during the webinar to engage with one another. You also have a Q&A button that you can use to write any questions that come up today. After the 30 minutes, we'll dive into a quick Q&A session with Nick, where you'll have plenty of time to ask both Jackie and Nick questions. And if you have a question midway through the webinar, just use the Q&A button only. So also, if you're experiencing any technical issues with Zoom, it's probably your internet connection. So my suggestion would be just to log out and then log back into Zoom if that happens. You can also shoot me a direct chat message and I can try to troubleshoot any issues that you have. Okay, so now that the housekeeping items are out of the way, I'm excited to introduce you to Jackie and Nick. Jackie Compton is a CPA and a certified tax coach and the founder of Balanced Equation. She has worked in the accounting industry for over 30 years, including tech companies in Silicon Valley, as well as Arthur Andersen, a then Big Five CPA firm. She received her bachelor's degree from San Jose State University and has extensive experience in corporate accounting, audits, tax, and business consulting services. Nick here is joining us from the partner team at Rho, and he will be going over the many key features and benefits of banking with Rho. So now I'll hand it over to you, Nick, and you can start your presentation. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Going ahead and sharing my screen. All righty. So just want to start out here with Jackie and my contact information here. Happy to have conversations about Rho following this webinar. Happy to have conversations about Rho and Balanced Equations relationship, our partnership, how we work in tandem together, Jackie's bookkeeping and accounting services tied in with Rho's product. So before I hop in, I want to give a quick background on Rho. We were founded in 2019. We're based in New York City. We have around 170 employees and we're growing really quickly. We just opened up a San Francisco office. So we work with businesses spread out all over the United States. We have about $1 billion in assets under management and $2 billion in spend. So, and we've raised over $150 million in equity with investors who have also invested in SpaceX and Uber. So we're pretty excited with the trajectory of Rho. And that kind of goes off of having this amazing product that we're pairing up with amazing services. So just wanted to touch on a couple key points that we're going to be going over today. What I want to do is provide a high-level overview of Rho so everybody has a good understanding of kind of where Rho fits into the puzzle. We are a fintech banking and corporate card provider, but do have a number of other products that we provide within our suite to ensure that people are covered on cash and spend management when they're banking with Rho. As we hop into it here, Rho partners with Webster National Bank. We are the only fintech in the US that partners with a national bank. So as far as that safety and security that we're providing to our clients, that's a number one priority here. Webster Bank, they're about 100 years old, 70 billion in assets under management. When you open up a Rho account, you have that $250,000 of FDIC insurance. We also are the only partner bank that doesn't use intermediaries, or we're the only fintech that doesn't use intermediaries when connecting with our partner bank. So it's a natively built out integration where your money is safe and secure within Webster Bank. Uh, and it's something that our leadership strategically chose. We want to be partnered with the largest bank we can. We want to be able to provide that security to folks as they're transitioning from potentially another fintech to a more secure one in Rho, or if there's transitioning from a more legacy bank to a Rho bank account. As far as kind of our cash management goes, it does come in tandem with best in market pricing. So fee-free checking account with integrations to 50 plus other software. So what I mean by that is wires, ACH, physical check payments all come at zero cost. Wires and ACH are same day. So we're really providing a solution that's going to work for a business and ultimately save them money potentially on those wire fees here. We also do have a savings account with 75 million in FDIC insurance. And then you'll have direct access to treasury bills when you open up a Rho account. What we'll do is we'll purchase 90-day treasury bills in the business owner's name. So the investment itself is a pretty conservative investment, but a way for you to earn some yield on idle cash. And in this process, we're going to give you best in class rates. So we're going to ensure that you are earning the utmost that you possibly can on these treasury bills. So not only are you taking advantage of the fee-free checking, but you're also going to be earning money in our treasury account as well. These treasury bills are next day liquid too, just in case you need to make a payment or anything of that nature. Rho has done this because we're building to scale with businesses. We want to ensure that businesses are able to extend their runway when they bank with Rho. Rho itself is a growing startup. We have grown to a position where we're on the larger side now, but we understand that businesses need to extend runway, need to take advantage of capital, and Rho has set up a system to do so here. On top of that, the growing and scaling your business, Rho has the most diverse product suite. So on top of that cash management, that checking, savings, and treasury, we're also going to provide corporate card program, integrated expense management, AP automation, all of this with natively built out accounting integrations. That's kind of where Jackie and her team will come in to help set up those accounting integrations, those mapping rules. But as far as the product suite goes, we want to make sure that you're covered on all things cash and spend management. The spend side here, we do offer best in class cash back as well. So this is a new offer that we have. It's a new product. We're super excited. Rho Platinum. What this means is a business that adopts Rho as their operating account, uses us for banking, you then unlock this 2% cash back. You can earn up to 2% on all charges when you bank with Rho, when you take advantage of our corporate card program, which then in turn is directly integrated into that expense management. Pretty much a full adoption of the platform, you'll earn up to 2% cash back, which is the best cash back in fintech. We're really excited to launch this. It's been about a month or two now since we launched it, and it's been a really awesome tool. Folks are not only just earning yield on their treasury account, now they're actually earning a higher percent cash back across all spend on Rho as well. All of that being said, Rho is really here to be the best partner to accountants like Jackie, but also to folks who are using Rho as their operating account, as their corporate card program. So what we've done is we've set up a system for folks to feel supported during their entire lifetime as a Rho client. When you open up an account with Rho, you'll be introduced to myself. I'll be your dedicated point of contact. I'll help with account opening, with initial setup, but then we also do have an implementation team too. So the implementation team is here to help switch over vendors, help set up cards, get cards out into the field, create expense policies, all the things that you're going to want to do to make your Rho account customized for your business to make sure that it's working for your needs. Uh, on top of that, every single person who opens up a Rho account gets a dedicated customer success rep. Customer success rep is there for the entire lifetime of that client's time with Rho. They'll be able to help out on a day-to-day basis with questions, with anything that might come up. And then we also do have that 24/7, 365 live human support. You're never going to be interacting with the chatbot with Rho. You'll have 4 dedicated folks to your account to make sure that you're supported at all times. On top of that, we work very well with our accounting partners like Jackie. So not only are you going to have support from the Rho side, you'll have support from Jackie's side as well. Not to mention, this is coming at no cost. So you're not having to buy a premium package, you're not having to buy the plus package. From the Rho side, it's coming at no cost. You're getting this concierge service. And ultimately, we want to ensure that we're providing you with the best process here. You're going to be supported. You're going to feel like you're in good hands the entire time that you're banking with Rho. So, in summary, Rho is built to scale with businesses. We have customers who come in all shapes and all sizes. So, from incorporation to publicly traded companies, they're all working with Rho. Uh, and all of this is coming at no cost. So, you're able to take advantage of these high yield treasury and savings, spend management and bill pay, and accounting integrations. So, I haven't really talked about the bill pay product. Bill pay product that we've created is one where we're trying to automate that process from end to end. So ultimately, we will OCR scan a bill as it comes in, pull off all the important invoice details. We'll keep your vendor information on file so that default payment information you'll select from a drop down there. We'll send it to an approval process. Once it's approved, it'll be scheduled and paid. So we're really trying to provide a tool here where you're able to keep track of all those bills, you're able to keep track of all that spend. And again, it's coming at no cost. No wires, ACH, or physical check fees. The last piece, and this is something that Jackie can touch on as well, but these natively built out accounting integrations, we're here to ultimately create a smoother, more efficient process. You're going to be able to code transactions in real time, make sure that when you're handing out cards to your employees, that you're really making sure that spend is within policy, and everything is going to be accounted for as well. Last piece here, for folks who are interested in signing up for Rho, Jackie has a link. Jackie can send you an invitation to her partner portal. From that point on, it's a simple and easy onboarding setup. It takes about 24 hours for you to get a Rho account. The application itself is pretty straightforward, easy to follow along, really just collecting some general information. But from that point on, Jackie and I will work together to make sure that your team, that yourself are really ready to make that switch over to Rho. We have the teams here built out to make sure that that change management is not going to be a process where it feels like it's dragging along. It'll feel like a smooth, efficient process, and we'll get you set up in Rho's system, whether that's taking advantage of our banking products, our card products, our bill pay, or the entire suite itself. Jackie, I'm going to hand it back over to you now to talk about a couple of use cases, kind of where you see Rho
Yep.
fit in. And yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, Nick. I appreciate you going over everything. So yes, hello everyone. I'm Jackie Compton. And so why am I partnering with a bank where historically I've been pretty well bank agnostic? Like my only criteria was that you integrated with the accounting system, so that we could do our job. And about 10, 12 years ago is when more of these technology companies started coming out and working towards automation of the accounting workflow. So a lot of you have adopted applications like HubDoc or Expensify or Bill.com, and kind of made these processes disaggregated processes. And so when I learned about Rho, the reason I'm so attracted to this product is that it allows us to get rid of all these other applications and integrate it with your banking and then integrate it right into your accounting system. And so and it's at no cost, right? So so you're not paying all these different subscription fees to get your bills paid. So I'm going to go over some of the main features that I like about Rho that make collaboration between me and my clients so seamless and beautiful. So first of all, you've got your basic checking, um, and you can have your corporate or virtual cards connected to that checking account, and it'll do a daily sweep to pay those off. Um, One of the beautiful things about the cards is that you can issue to your employees either a virtual or a plastic card that they can then use, and you can set um, spend controls on those cards. So, if you have a business where you've got a fleet of vehicles and you only want your employees to be able to put gas in their cars, you can specifically assign, you know, uh, gas stations as the only merchant type that they can use. You can further give them a spend limit. So $500 a day, $500 a month, whatever you want to do, you can put those controls in place and set those rules on your own. Um, so the other thing is when we get into payables, we can actually have our vendors be sent a notice that is going to ask them to put in their banking information if they want electronic payment. And then it actually collects their 1099s as well. So it's just one more thing that doesn't have to be manually followed up with, and is a process that we can automate for onboarding new vendors. Um, what else? Okay, so we can have um the other thing is the other thing that I look at when I choose a software provider is I don't want to be held hostage by that company. And so that's another thing that Rho does really well. All of the data that they're collecting for images and rules and posting, that's all going to push into your accounting system. So all of our images that we're collecting are going to get pushed into the accounting system through the integration. So if you ever decide you want to break up with Rho, they don't have all your data. You've got it right in your accounting system. Which reminds me, on the expense card management side, the thing that I love about it is the second you spend money, whoever used that card is going to get both an email and a text that says, "Hey, send me your receipt." And I love that because then I'm not calling up my clients going, "What did you buy? What was it for? Who bought it?" I don't have to ask those questions. And I get that information in real time. So my team can be doing the bookkeeping in almost real time so that we're giving you very close to real time financial statements. So, that's just, it's exciting for me. Somebody has to get excited about this stuff. I get excited about this stuff. Um, so what else, Nick? What have I forgotten? I talked about the sweep. I talked about integration. Approvals. The other thing is we can set up approval flows. So if you have a departmentally structured company, we can actually put in approval workflows to get that approval process in place.
Yeah, and then one thing I would like to add too is the consolidation piece. So businesses a lot of the times will have a bank provider, a card provider, someone that they're using for AP, maybe an expense platform as well. With Rho, we're really providing a product that's going to consolidate that. That approach is going to in turn create different efficiencies that you might not have thought were possible. Logging into one platform, taking care of banking needs, also taking care of your bill pay, while also doing that, going in there and approving expenses for folks on your team, taking care of that under one login and giving permissions to someone like Jackie as well. So we have set of, I think it's 7 default user groups that can all be edited. But for instance, Jackie can be added as a bookkeeper on the account, and we'll have certain permissions to go in there and ultimately look at expenses, take care of accounting mapping rules, taking care of that accounting integration, that automation, where we're ultimately going to be making sure that certain accounts, classes, whatever it is in Rho is going to be mapped back to the correct spot within your accounting platform.
Yep.
All of this is done with that permission set. All of this is done with that consolidated approach.
Yeah, and I also like that I can add further controls within my own team. So I might be able to give access to one of my team members to help me with coding, but that person wouldn't be able to make transfers or spend money. So,
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So giving your business that
yep,
customized approach where you can make it work. And then in turn, giving Jackie a good outlet to take care of your business as well on the accounting and bookkeeping side.
yep. And correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, but I know with the email link, you can just reply to the email with your image of whatever you purchased, but with the text link, they can just respond to the text, correct? Like they don't even have to have an app on their phone?
Yeah. So you can respond with taking a picture of your receipt and texting it back in the email, texting it back on the text string, and it'll directly show up in the expense part of the platform. We do have a mobile app as well. So I use both the text and the mobile app. Dependent on the expense policies that you set up for your business, you can have a receipt required for all purchases, but then say something above $50, you need to add a note to it. That can be a secondary expense rule that you put in. For that note, you'll want to access that through the mobile app. So your employees are never having to log into the platform and go in and fill it out on a computer. They're able to do it in real time via the mobile app. And then also Rho will remind these folks to complete their expense policy, say if they forgot to add that note. They'll get a reminder via the mobile app saying, hey, Nick, you still have an outstanding expense. Please go in and complete it. That way, you're not having to chase down employees. You're not questioning what people are spending. You're ultimately going to have a great sense of where that spend's occurring, what people are spending on, and then on top of that, having the control there. So control, visibility into what is being spent on your company's corporate cards.
That's it. All right. So
Awesome.
I think we're probably ready for the Q&A.
Great. Let me pull it up, see what we've got here. Um, so what yield can I expect in Rho Treasury? So what we're doing here is we're purchasing 90-day Treasury bills in the business owner's name. Currently, and this yield changes depending on interest rates. Currently, that yield is somewhere in between that 3.6 to 4.2%, depending on the level of investment. So as the investment grows, the yield gets higher. If it's a smaller investment, it'll be on the lower end of that. But we're always willing to have the conversation about what yield you're currently getting, where you're currently earning this treasury bills or money market, whatever it might be. We're willing to have a conversation about what you're currently earning and what you could be earning with Rho. I hope that answers the question there. What is the underwriting process? So the underwriting process for Rho is a little bit different than some of our competitors. So what we do here, and just to be clear, there are two card programs that we provide at Rho. We offer a same-day charge card. So this card will ultimately pull from your Rho checking account and settle at the end of every single business day. And everybody is eligible for the same-day charge card. When you open up an account, you're eligible for it. We also do offer a monthly terms charge card. This one will go through a more formal underwriting process for, but we do take a holistic approach when we're looking at a business. We're not just looking at how much cash the business is holding. We are taking that into account, but we'll also look at the financial health. We'll look at the P&L and balance sheets for the past year. On top of that, we'll take into account any funding that the business has, a line of credit, anything along those lines that could potentially increase that limit. And our underwriting team all works in-house. They sit about 10 feet behind me in the office. So we work really closely with them, and we're able to underwrite these businesses in a way where they feel like they're getting a fair limit, but also a healthy sized limit too. Does Rho offer cashback versus points-based system? So it's a cashback system. We have a couple different tiers, if you will, of cashback. So right out of the box, corporate card program, you can earn 1% on the monthly terms or 1.25% on the 30-day terms. Going back to something that I touched on in the beginning, we just launched this Rho Platinum. So if you're using Rho as your operating account, you're utilizing the entire platform, you've unlocked the best cashback in fintech. What I mean by that, by the numbers, that same day charge card is going to be 2% across all spend on that card. And then the second piece, or the monthly terms, is going to be 175. So really unlocking that best in class cash back while taking advantage of a very strong card program that's built on MasterCard rails. Any more questions here? What does the accounting automation look like? So as far as the accounting automation goes, like I mentioned, myself and Jackie and our implementation team will make sure that your business is going to be set up as far as this accounting automation goes. Really, what we are aiming to do here is make sure that in real time, you're able to add the correct account, class, vendor, whatever it might be, to your charge. So that way, when it comes to reconciling and making sure that everything is going to be in the correct location in QuickBooks, we've set up mapping rules and advanced mapping rules with certain conditions so that we're able to make sure that all of your transactions will be accounted for in your accounting platform. A couple of other questions here. How will it compare with QuickBooks? Does it create estimates and invoices? If I receive payments, do you guys have ACH and wire fees? So we are not here to replace QuickBooks. We're not comparing with QuickBooks. We have natively built out and direct integration with QuickBooks. So what I mean by that is we're trying to create a more efficient process between your spend, your bank, and QuickBooks. Everything is going to be coded in real time, and we'll be able to take care of that in tandem with Jackie's services.
Do you mind if I jump in?
Yeah, of course.
So Rho is on the spend side, not on the sales side. So it's not going to create the estimates and invoices. Like Nick was saying, that would still be done in QuickBooks. If you incoming ACHs and wires, there's no fees for those.
Yep. Fee free. And then second question here, can the cards be given to subcontractors or it has to be a specific employee requirements? So yes, they can be given to subcontractors. We have a couple of different ways that you can do this. You can ultimately add them as a Rho user and then deploy a card to them. Or if this is like a project-based card and you know that you're going to spend $2,000 on a card, you can actually create a single, like a fixed amount card. This way, it doesn't feel like you're ultimately giving this subcontractor a card. So I've seen some of our clients in the past where they'll create, say, a $2,000 fixed amount card, give that to the subcontractor, knowing that most, if not all, that $2,000 can be spent. And that's a way to kind of keep control of that spend as you're handing out cards to folks. If they're a subcontractor that you work with on a pretty regular basis, then you can add them as an employee to your Rho account and actually give them a physical or virtual card. Does Rho send 1099s automatically? We will keep W-9 information on file, and we can we can send 1099 information as well. It's not going to be automatically, but you can send that information.
To clarify, Nick, we're going to send that information to QuickBooks or the accounting system, and the client will still be issuing their 1099s, right? Like Rho's not actually issuing them.
Exactly. Sorry.
That's
Yep.
okay.
Yep. Any other questions here? Let's
I
see.
think you've answered most of them.
I think we have. Awesome. Great.
Thank you everyone for attending today. We really appreciate you being here. And thank you so much, Nick and Jackie, for the presentation.
Thank you for everybody showing up. I appreciate it. And thank you,
Yeah.
Nick and Ashley.
Thank you.
Thank you
Have
so
a wonderful
much. Yep.
day.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.